Oops. Hello. Wonder if I turn off my overhead light. Let's just see. Or is that going to make it too dark? Well, that's not bad. Okay, we're going to try that. Oh, I see some people. Hello, hello. I'm always playing with my lighting. I can't stand the glare that you get on packaging and things with lights, but you need lights to have, you know, it's just a struggle. But I think we're doing this early enough in the day today so we can swing with this, I hope. Hello, everyone. Are you ready to get crafty? I am ready to get crafty. I have been wanting to share this for a while, but things just get in my way. So sometimes I just have to keep pushing it off and pushing it off. But first thing I'm going to do is just say that we still have 4 spots left for tomorrow's mini class. So if anybody is interested, I just finished prepping everything and I have prepped for the full 32 people. So I'm going to send out an email later on today, just, you know, kind of like last call. But if you check your schedule and you are free tomorrow, we have, let me just tell you here. I checked before, but I now forget. Okay. So we have 3 spots available from 2:30 to 4, and we have 1 spot available from 11:30 to 1. So if your schedule is free tomorrow, or you had a change in plans or whatever, and you would like to register, it's not too late. So we do have 4 spots open, and we don't normally have 4 spots open this late in the game. So you might have just assumed that we were sold out, but we do have some spots. So if you want to join in the fun for tomorrow's mini class, you can do that, because it is going to be a ton of fun and lots of learning. So like I said, if your schedule is free, I'd love to have you out. But today we're going to do a card, and we're going to focus on this sentiment right here. So this is the Happy Birthday script word die from Waffle Flower. It is from their newest release. They did the cupcake, what do you call that? Postage collage, and the sweet cupcake die. And that great confetti background. We've played with all of those things. But greetings like this are very popular in our store. I'm going to talk to you about a whole bunch of other ones that we have had, that you may have in your stash. But they might look like, you know, just a simple die. But we can do fun things with them. And on Saturday, I did do a live, because we did a giveaway promo thing. Oh, Susan played hooky from work. I will not tell. Anyways, I did a live on Saturday, and we talked about the promotion set that we did, and it is a similar concept to this. So I did give some tips there on how you can play around with those sentiments, and those same tips would apply to this set as well. But I'm going to do a different technique today and show you some more fun things. Oh, we've got more hooky players. You know, sometimes you just got to do it. But if you are tuning in this evening or another day and you're watching this on replay, and you were honest and you didn't play hooky, that's okay too. You can watch these videos anytime. This video will remain on Facebook for 30 days, but I'm going to transfer this video over to our YouTube channel, so you'll be able to watch it there all the time. Okay, so this is the sentiment we're going to focus on. Now, here is the inspiration for my card. So I had made this when I was at, I think it was at Christina's house, actually. And I needed some, like, get well cards for my stash. And this is the card that I made. So I fell in love with it. I love a card that has a nice, crisp white background with a pop of color. And this is definitely one that is great. And it features this little guy here, this bear. This little set came out from Lawn Fawn. Let me find him. Oh, it's over here. During COVID. And it is called the Germ-Free Bear. So here he is. It's a little bear. And then the sentiments in here, it said, I made this card for you. But if there's another sentiment you can add that says germ-free card for you. And you can add a mask to the bear. And there's also a bottle of hand sanitizer. So I created this card and it is just adorable. I love it. I've already used one of them. I made 3. I gave one to my neighbor. She had to have an emergency gallbladder surgery. So I was really glad that I had this in my stash and I could just pop one over in her mailbox, and she loved it. So having these kinds of cards in your stash is really great, because this is the kind of thing that usually pops up and you don't necessarily have time to sit down and make a card. So this was the inspiration. Now I will go through a few things here. The dies I used for my word, they are from Waffle Flower, and it's called the Oversized Hug die. Now, we've had this many times before, but it is currently out of stock with Waffle Flower. Every time I order, I check, and I order from them a lot. I'm on the notify list, so as soon as it comes back in stock, we will get it again. And then they've also come out with the Get Well die, which is similar. We did sell out of this, but I have ordered those, and those are en route to us now. So you could easily adapt this card using the Get Well. And then I thought, you know what, I'm going to just look through some of the things that I have in my stash that we have carried in the past, because I know not everybody buys the newest things all the time. You do go to your stash and you do pull things out. So these are things that you may have already purchased. We can order them again if you see something that you like, but you have to email us and let us know, because we can't carry everything. Especially things that are a few years old, we kind of move on. But we're happy to bring them in for people and they ask. Now, this one's not too old. It's from the Christina Werner collection with Concord and Ninth, and it's called Cheerful Flowers Dies. This one says Thinking of You, and it's a nice, bold sentiment with a shadow die, similar to these, which would also work well for Get Well cards. Yes, get your notebook out. Good plan, Shelby. Yes. So if you haven't got your notebook out, you definitely want to get it out now. So again, this is one that is a Concord and Ninth set, and it's Cheerful Flowers dies, and that Thinking of You is beautiful. Now, you also get the bonus of having this great flower, which would work really nice on here too. So lots of great things. We do have one of these sets still in stock, this one here. This is the Timeless Sentiments, and there is a Hugs die in this one. It's a very, very similar font. I'm going to pop this one open because I want to see sizing on this. This one is from Altenew. I just put lotion on my hands and now they're slippery. Notebook is out. Good job, Judy. And I saw your notebook yesterday. Wow, I was impressed. You want to talk about somebody who's organized with a notebook. Okay, so so this one is a little bit smaller, so you can kind of see in comparison, but it would definitely do the job. So again, all of these dies here have the word and the outline. So it's a great little set. Things like hello, you, hugs, friend, love, and thank you. And they all come with that shadow, which is super cool. So that is a good one. This is a classic. This one here is called the Just Say More set from Concord and Ninth. And look at these ones. So this one says Big Hugs, which would work really well if you want to do a like a Get Well card. And also the word Take Care would also work really well for that too. And the Celebrate You would work well for the card we're going to do. So this is a great option here. And then I do have the Yippee die. That's one from Catherine Pooler. And it's also a fun one for birthdays. So that was a cool one. This is from Hero Arts, and it's called Hello There. And it would be a nice one too for a Get Well one. We have this one en route to us already. So that one is coming. And then this is a classic as well from Waffle Flower. It's the Oversized Hey Hi and Hello. I'm not sure if this one is still available. I think it is not. I think they've discontinued it, which is unfortunate. But if you have it, definitely works nicely for what am I trying to say? For this type of technique. I'm reading comments. See, you can always tell when I'm reading comments because I can't speak and read at the same time. So I either stop completely or I start making no sense. So it looks like we have the Yippee die in stock because Shelby just put a link up, and that's a great one for birthdays. So I just thought I would pull out some of these just to show you that, you know, go through your stash, see what you have that might work. But if you're also looking for new things, Maybe you realize that you have a hole in your stash, because I realized that I had some holes in my stash that I needed to get working on, and I needed some supplies. So I've picked up a few things over the last little while as well, to help fill in those gaps. So anyway, so those are some great options. So we're going to take this design and we are going to make a birthday card, and we are going to use, I've mixed it all in here. We're going to use this new happy birthday script word. And it is a great one if you are looking for a new birthday sentiment, or maybe you don't have something for birthdays that does this type of technique. It's a lot of fun to do. So I'm just going to set my card off to the side here, and I've done a little prep work ahead. Now, the reason I do prep work ahead is because some of the stuff when you are building a card is kind of boring. Like, you don't need to watch me glue things together and run things through a die cut machine and cut them out. So if you have any questions about something that I may have pre-prepped, please type the questions in the comments, because I am more than happy to stop and take a minute and explain things a little bit further. But, you know, I just assume that most of us know how to do some of these things, and you don't really have to sit and watch me do it. But like I said, I'm happy to review anything that you need me to review. Okay, so again, I've decided I'm going to use, what did you use for your sentiment on your hug card? Oh, yeah, well, so that's a set that we don't have. I got it through an event that I did, so it's not something that we can order, and not something that I have. So I'm not even going to talk about that. But yes, it is a good one, but unfortunately, it's a no-go. so I'm just going to skip right over that. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to do a birthday themed card. So here's my card base. I have them already prepared and set aside in a spot in my room. So when I'm making a card, I just pull them out. And we did talk about card bases in our Saturday Facebook Live. We kind of went rogue for a little bit, took a little detour on our live because someone asked a question and we went through a bunch of things. So you can watch that live on our Facebook page still, or you can go to our YouTube channel and it is uploaded there. And there is a little section in there, and we talked about card bases and scoring and all kinds of things. So there's some helpful tips in there. And then this is going to be my front panel that goes on the card. And I've already trimmed it down a little bit because I want just that little bit smaller panel. I'm just going to hold this up so you can see the edge. Okay, so the panel is just slightly smaller than the actual card itself. And then what I did was I took the shadow part of the die. I'm just going to pull this out. And that's one of the reasons I cut my panel down right away, because I wanted to know the space that I was working with. But this is the shadow part of the die. So the part that goes behind the die if you want to put a mat behind it. And I'm going to use that to cut out this hole in the front of my card. Okay. So basically, you're going to take the shadow part, you're going to position it on the card wherever it is you want, and you're going to go ahead and die cut that out. And then it leaves this hole in the front of your card. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a panel similar to this that's going to go in behind this opening, the window that we've created in our card. Now I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to blend that out for you so you can see it. I know I've done lots of blends before, but it is something that people continuously ask about. So I'm going to take a moment to do that. So what I did was I cut a panel. It's basically half of the size of a card front. I just cut a scrap piece of paper, but you want it to be big enough to go behind this window. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to I'm going to ink blend that out. Okay. And basically I'm just blending out a rainbow, and you're going to end up with something very similar to this. So the panel is actually just a little bit wider than my card front panel. So you can see that there. I'm going to leave it like that while I blend, because then I have the opportunity to trim this down just a little bit. So if I get a little bit too much pink on one end or a little bit too much blue on the other, and I want to trim one off, that will allow me to trim this in. Oh, Shelby has put up a great sentiment set for Get Well in the comments there. It's from Photoplay, and that's a really good one. It's got inside and outside sentiments that will work really good. But we're going to go over we're going to go over, like we're going to focus on the birthday one, and I do have some sentiment options for that. So, okay, so we're going to do our rainbow blend, and what I've done is I've gone ahead and pulled out my blending brushes already because I'm working in limited desk space. I've got some things out that I just sort of set aside, and I don't want to clean everything up completely. I have my Pink Fresh inks off to the side here, and we're going to use the Pink Fresh blend. I still have not made a swatch card for that, so I'm still running off of this sample that I have here. But in case you have not seen me do this before, this is a favorite blend with Pink Fresh ink that I really like, and I use bubblegum, mango sorbet, sweet mustard, key lime, and turquoise. So those are the colors I'm going to be using today. And I've also got my ink stand out because I'm not working on a sticky mat today, so I don't want to chase my ink cube around. All right, so I'm using what I would call like the average or standard size blending brush for this blending. You could use the 1-inch brushes from Pink Fresh. They tend to do a bit of a lighter blend unless you spend a lot of time blending to build up that color. So I opted not to use those. They would work and they would give you a beautiful blend. I'm going with my Altenew small brushes for this one. Okay, so we're going to start with the bubble gum, and I'm just simply going to start blending the panel. So that's all we're doing, is creating the rainbow blend. And like I've said before, don't get too concerned if it looks a little blotchy or your blend doesn't look super smooth, because when these inks dry and level out, because all the inks have smoothing agents in them, the blotchiness will kind of go away. So don't stress too much about that. But there is our pink. Turned out pretty good. And the next one is going to be that mango sorbet. And what did I see Shelby said? Oh, we just unboxed a lot of those 1-inch brushes. Yep, our spidey senses were going off, and we could see our inventory getting just a wee bit low. And we're like, nope, we're getting a bunch more in. So it's kind of one of those things that you don't want to have to run out of. And sometimes Pink Fresh runs out of them too, and then we have to wait. And so I said, no, we're going to make sure we keep those in stock. So we got a big shipment of them. Now you can see how that mango is blending into the pink. Super cool. And again, try to do your spacing as even as you can, but no big deal if it's a little wider in one section and a little narrow in another, because you're going to be able to trim this panel down a little bit. Next one is the yellow, and that is going to be sweet mustard. Are those brushes in stock now? Okay, so Terry, are you talking about the 1-inch brushes or the ones that I'm blending with right now? Woo. The 1-inch brushes are in stock now. I do believe we have some of these brushes in stock that I'm working with, but I could be wrong. The girls are still unpacking boxes, which seems to be an ongoing thing. Oh, so not these yet. Okay. They're coming for sure. Okay, so now we've got our pink, our sort of orange or coral color, and then our yellow. And now we're going to come in with our green, which is key lime. All right. Sold out again. It's because I keep talking about them. Well, I guess I'll just have to go shopping, guys. I mean, it's kind of like my professional job lately. It's kind of crazy. I don't even want to tell you how much stuff we've got en route right now. Okay, so now we've got our green. So that looks really great. I'm just going to add a little bit more right here. Alrighty, and then the final one is the blue, which is turquoise. And can just fill in that end spot. So this just makes such a beautiful rainbow blend. And I try to remember to swirl my brush in both directions and really go over that green until you get a deep enough blend. Okay, so I think that looks good. Pretty awesome. Every time I do it, I'm like, wow, that looks so good. But I really love a rainbow blend, so you kind of can't go wrong. I just ordered more of these spray bottles that I'm using here. We keep selling out. Everyone is loving them. So has anyone actually tried their spray bottle that has ordered it? Have you filled it up with your alcohol and sprayed with it? It's pretty great. Okay, so there's the rainbow blend. So now what we're going to do is I'm just going to grab my trimmer here and we're just going to trim down this panel. It has to be, my panel on the front here is about 4 1/8. So I'm going to go down to about 4 inches just so that it's inside on the edges. And I think I'm pretty even. Like I'm going to grab my little thing here. So when I put this behind here, I think I'm pretty good. Actually, I think I'm going to take, some of it off the pink here. So that takes it to like, I'm going to go a little less than 4 1/8. So I took a little more pink off. Which way does this go? This way? Oops, this way. Okay, so it's going to kind of sit like that. Okay, we can take a little bit more off the blue here. So we're going to take it down to just below 4 inches, just so that it doesn't stick out the sides of the card. Okay, so here is the blend, and this is what is going to go kind of behind our window. So it looks pretty cool, right? So what you're going to do then is with the word part of your die, I cut that out of the Neenah 110 heavyweight cardstock 3 times, and then I glued those together. So again, I don't know how well the camera's going to pick this up, but you can see that it's kind of dimensional. It's thick. So when I lay this inside here, it kind of pops up and it just looks so good. So this will just nest right inside there and it will give you that beautiful happy birthday with the rainbow design in behind it on a white background. It just looks so good. So there you can see compared to the hugs what that kind of looks like. And I think it's going to turn out great. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to adhere the rainbow part behind my panel. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stick this part in the center so that we've got that in place. So to do the rainbow part, I'm going to flip the panel over and I'm going to put liquid glue around the outside edge of my open window. Now, my glue press had been sitting for a little bit and was giving me grief this morning. So I think I'm going to have to put a pin in here. It wasn't quite on the stand straight, so I think a little bit of air got in there. Oh, I think we got it now. And, oh, there, see, it's flowing just fine. So I'm just kind of going around the outside edge of this opening here, because when I put the panel on, by the time I put my whole card together, it's all going to be squished in like a sandwich, and it's not going to matter if my edges are not glued down perfectly. But it is going to matter that it's sealed up nicely against that opening. So I am going to just lay this panel on here, just keeping in mind that I want it to be kind of centered over the back of the card. So there's going to be a little space on each side. I'm just going to kind of put that down, and I'm going to pull out my magnets and put that down there. Okay, so that's going to hold that in place and let it set up for a second. Okay, so like I said, I've already cut this out of white and I did it 3 times out of the heavyweight paper, and then I layered them together with my liquid glue and just stacked them up, and now they have a bit of dimension. So I'm going to go ahead and put adhesive onto the back of that while this sort of sets up, and that will make it super easy to just put right into that space. So you want to make sure that you get all of the wide areas on your die cut. You don't have to get every space. And then if there's any little curly cues that are kind of off on their own, you want to make sure you put some adhesive on there too, just to make sure that they hold down. Like the Y, see how it goes out here? Make sure you get that little curly cue part. And then that way everything will kind of be stuck down. Same thing with this B. And this happy birthday sentiment is very inexpensive. And like I said, if you go back and watch Saturday's video, there's tons of different looks that you can get with dies like this. So if you're looking for a great birthday one, definitely pick this one up. And I know we have lots in stock because birthday's very popular. And it's sort of timeless. So I kind of ordered rather deep on this one to make sure that we had it in our inventory for a while. But definitely pick it up because it's a great one for sure. Okay, so now we're going to remove those magnets and flip that over. And now we're just going to take our birthday sentiment with our tweezers and we're just going to lay it in here. And the reason I like to use liquid glue is because it gives me a chance to kind of put it in here and then shift it around to where I want it to be. Like I want to push up this Y a bit. There we go. And that looks great. And then again, I'm going to bring in those magnets just to hold that down and in place. Oops, sorry, you got a view of my head there. And that just sort of gives it some pressure and holds it in place while it sets up. So that's the happy birthday part. Now I was able to use this little set here. I love this little set. It's a stamp and die set. And I'm just going to pull out the dies and stuff so you can see. I've got this in an envelope with another bear set, but it's called Germ Free Bear, and it just has this freestanding bear, and then he has a few accessories like we talked about, the sanitizer and the mask. So if you're making like feel better or get well cards, it's perfect. It also includes, I made this card for you. So that is great that you could either put as part of a sentiment or you can put it on the back of your card. But it also has the germ-free part that you can add. So you could use this as your sentiment for your card. So on here, you could send a card that says hugs, and then you could put that, I made this germ-free card for you down here. If someone was ill or recovering from a surgery or something like that, works great. So it kind of has the sentiment built into it. And then there is a matching die for the bear and the mask and the sanitizer. So those two dies are included here. Okay, so I'm going to utilize this bear even for my birthday card because you can do some cool things with him. So what I did on this one is, because it was for a get well card, I did put the mask on, and these accessories are from a set that we can't get anymore, but you could include the hand sanitizer that comes with the set, and it would do the same idea. But I cut out his little hand so that it looks like he's holding the little bag here. So for the birthday card, I went ahead and colored up the bear ahead of time. And I made the little slit, and I've got him holding a cupcake. So that's how I'm going to change him into a birthday bear. And then I also added a little birthday hat. So that is kind of the look that we're going to end up with our cute little bear. So you can transform this bear into things for Christmas. He could hold a Christmas present, a candy cane, maybe another icon that you have that's Christmas related. You could have him holding balloons. You could have him holding flowers. So like for Mother's Day or a thinking of you card or a birthday card, even putting flowers in his hands would be cool. You could even have him holding a little coffee mug. So you could do like a coffee card or something like that. So this little bear has a lot of potential. Although it is with this germ-free set, if you take the bear out just on his own, I think you can use it for tons of different things. So I decided to make him into a birthday bear. Now, I will share with you the things that I used to make the hat and the cupcake, but they are from older sets. So we did carry them, so you may have them in your stash from previous shopping experiences with us. But if you don't, we can't get them anymore. But I'm sure if you crash your stash, especially if you have Lawn Fawn things. Lawn Fawn tends to have a lot of small little things that come along with their stamp sets. But I went through my stash and I found this set here. This is called the Roaring Birthday. And it did have a little party hat and a little cupcake. And I thought, oh, so I wasn't even paying attention to the lion, who is the star of this set. But you could just look through your sets and see what you have that would fit in his hands. the Panda sets have slit dies to cut around the paws. Yes, and I actually used a slit die that came with this Den Sweet Den set that I have this set in a bag with, and it has a little slit die for the paws as well, which I was able to use. But you can use your X-Acto knife and just go slowly around his paw and do it carefully, and then you'll be able to add a little slit there. Again, a lot of your cut marks are kind of covered up once you tuck your little icon in there, so anything will work. But that's where I got the party hat and the cupcake for, and it worked out perfectly. So I'm just going to go ahead and place my little bear right up here. And I mean, you could make it so that he's not actually wearing his party hat. His party hat could be on the ground, like beside him, which also works really well. I think that's what I'm going to do. The party hat on his head is cute, but I think it just goes up a little too high for my liking. So I'm going to actually put his little party hat on the ground. If you had a little present, you could also like put the party hat on his head and have a little gift sitting beside him or something like that. But either way, all these little stamps that you may or may not have or might want to go shopping for are really useful when you're doing something like this. But I just think that looks so adorable. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fasten the little cupcake inside there with a little glue. But yes, you might surprise yourself when you start looking at your stamps in a different way, thinking, oh, I don't have to use this as a whole set. I can just use the cupcake, or I can just use this. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh. Okay, so that is the little cupcake. I'm just going to put a magnet on there. Okay, so we're just going to give that a second. I'm going to put a little bit of foam adhesive on the back of my hat because I know I'm going to be popping it up. Oh, we are almost done this roll. Like really almost done. So I'm just going to put a couple little pieces of foam adhesive on the back of this. Oops, somebody's messaging me. We'll ignore that. I wonder who that was. Oh, it's probably just a notification. Nothing to be concerned about. Okay, so we're just going to put that there. And then we're going to also... I don't know. I might not pop up the bear because the hat's popped up. Oh, I'm going to do it. I think he looks better popped up. This is one of the things I can't really do ahead of time. Well, I guess I could have had my strips on there, but I didn't. Some parts of watching a crafting video are just boring. That's all there is to it. Oh, you could wobble it for sure. I could have wobbled the hat too. Okay, but I think I'll just pop it and then we can still have that overlap just by the way I put my adhesive. So that is perfect. Now, before I go ahead and stick it down, because I want to make sure where I'm putting it is where I want it, I am going to add a sentiment across the bottom here. Now, what I did do was I took some time and I actually cut out a whole bunch of sentiments because mine were starting to get low and I wasn't finding the ones that I wanted. So I don't know if you guys are all familiar with this concept here. This is, I'm just separating them. There's two sets here. This is the Simple Strips sets from Taylored Expressions. I'm not sure what our inventory is like right now, but I will make sure that I order in a few of the popular ones again. But these are amazing. So these have, the larger sets are called Simple Strips and the mini sets are called Mini Strips. And they have them in all different themes. And let me just grab my stamps because I cleaned them. 1 second. So they come on a panel, and when you stamp them out, you stamp all of them at one time. Same thing with the mini set. So you stamp them all out, and then you put a die over the top, and it cuts out all of the strips at the same time. So that's what I've got here. And what I did was I heat embossed them in white on black paper. So again, This is something that I don't like to stop and take the time to do when I'm creating a card. I like to have them done. So I just go to a bin and I sort through what's there and I pick out something that'll work. But my pickings were getting rather slim. So I decided, you know what, this morning I'm just going to cut out a whole bunch of them. And now I'll be able to put these in my container. And then when the next time I need to make a card, I can just pick what I want. But there's some really good ones in here. So the big greeting says happy birthday. You can put something like this on that says, I'm so glad you were born, which is kind of fun. Or you can do something like this where it says, happy birthday, I promise I didn't forget. So if you're sending a belated birthday card, that's a good one. This one says, happy birthday, did someone say cake? So there's a lot of really great ones here. Happy birthday, here's to many more. So there are really nice add-ons to that nice big sentiment. So there's the full-size set, which is the simple strips birthday, and that gives you more. There's even one that's in a different language. I don't know what this says. I think it's Spanish, but yeah, there's that. But then the smaller set gives you less greetings, but still a lot of fun. So you've got happy birthday, and then this one could say celebrating you today. You can say make a wish. You know, so you can pick and choose what you want to put there. I love the option. Oh, this is my favorite one. Happy birthday. Wow, you're old. That one makes me laugh every time. I love it. So what do you guys think I should put on here? Happy birthday. Let the celebration begin. Oh, that's kind of a fun one. See, I'm also looking at the length of the strips and how much space I want it to take up. So if I put this one on, either I have to lower it down here, which I don't like, or it covers up the Y, which I don't love either. So I'm kind of looking for something that's just going to fit in this spot. So I kind of like something like, oh, it's too long too. This one was cool. Did someone say cake? Which is a good one. We got eat all the cake. We have wow, you're old, which is a fun one. Happy birthday. Wow, you're old. I do love that one. Let me see. Things like this I don't want to use. This one says, you're saying happy birthday, and then it says it's your birthday, because it says birthday too many times. So I avoid those ones in this situation. And then here's one that says eat all the cake. Happy birthday, eat all the cake. Make a wish is a good one. Does anybody have any suggestions? Have I hit a favorite? You guys are so quiet. What do you think? There's also celebrating you today, but I think that one's just a wee bit too long. It's a good one, but this is another one that is a favorite of mine too. It's it says it's your day, treat yourself. Does anybody have any suggestions, or am I just going to pick for myself? This one fits good. Did somebody say cake? Eat all the cake? Yeah, eat all the cake is good. I like that one too. And that one's a little bit smaller. So here, let me grab my tweezers so we can kind of put that. I know, I love the wow, you're old. But what that does is it limits who you can give it to. That's the only thing. So here, this one, this is the one. See, this is the perfect size. This is the perfect size, is eat all the cake. Okay, you guys really like you're old? I mean, it is a good one. Okay, I'll go with that one. Oh, now we have two for this. I don't know what to do, because I'm trying to think of my card stash, and it's a bit of a snarky card if you put wow, you're old, but I do have a lot of people that I could give the snarky card to. So I'm going to go with wow, you're old, because it is kind of funny. Okay, so I am happy with that, and I'm going to be putting a little bit of foam adhesive on there just to pop that up. But isn't this a great card? I love the simplicity of it, but yet it packs a punch. It's a lot of fun to put together. So as the crafty journey is good, and the recipient is going to love it. I mean, I can tell you my neighbor was just thrilled. She kept saying, "You made this? You made this?" I'm like, yeah, that's what I do in my room. She's not a crafty person. She's a retired teacher. She says she likes the idea of crafts, but she doesn't want to do them. So I'm not sure what that means. But anyway, she just was floored that I made her that card. And, I mean, I loved the reaction I got when I gave it to her. So here we're just going to put the Wow You're Old right here. Perfect. So there's that little pop of black that I love every card to have. And then we're just going to stick our little bear on here. Okay, so that's going to go right there. He's so cute. And then we're just going to put his hat on the floor. I don't mind having the party hat on the floor. If I'd have thought ahead a little bit more, I might have made something with a little gift, but that's okay. I think this is cute. And it kind of fills in that space above there. So that is great. And then we're going to put that right on our card base here. Actually, before we do that, you know what we're going to do? We're actually going to stamp a sentiment on the inside of our card. Maybe I should have thought of that before I put the Wow You're Old on there, but we are. So I was busy prepping for the class tomorrow, and I used this sentiment set here, and this is from Gina K, and I love this one. So this is called, what is it called? Hold on. Oh, I don't know. The tag's not on here anymore. Shelby, help me out. Is it on the back here? Oh, here it is. Birthday greetings. So this set is designed with inside greetings in it. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different inside. Well, there's a 7th that could be used for inside. So 6 or 7 inside greetings, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 outside greetings. So this one has lots of options as well, but I really love the fonts on this when you stamp them out. And I love what they say. I'm not going to read them all to you. You can check it out online if you want to. Again, it's called Birthday Greetings from Gina K. And I love to stamp the inside of my cards. I always stamp it when I give it, but I don't always do it ahead because I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to be doing with the card. But this, I know, is going to be a birthday card. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to stamp the greeting because I'm going to show you something else I like to do. And I don't usually show this part on a live. So I'm gonna take a minute and I'm gonna do it. So when I stamp a greeting on the inside, I often think it's straight, but then you realize, wait a minute, that's not really straight. so it's good to have something that you can kind of test. Now I just had that out. Oh, it's sitting on the table up there. One moment. Ugh. So I've talked about these before. They are called alignment guides, and they are really, really helpful little tools. Now I've got ink all over mine, so I'm just going to clean that off quickly, and then I will show you what this is. So this comes in a set, and there's different sizes in it, and they have a grid line on them. And so this one is the A2 size one. So you can place this right over top of your card when it's in your MISTI. And then when you do your practice stamp, it stamps on this, and it's clear and it's gridded, so you can see if it's straight. And then if you're sure, you can just remove the guide and then go ahead and stamp on your panel. If it doesn't look straight, it gives you the opportunity to adjust your stamp before you stamp it right into your card. So before I use this, I always like to get my stamp in and put it the way I think it looks straight. So now we're kind of being snarky here. There's not exactly a snarky one on here. How do you, oh, here's a good one. Okay, so this is the one we're going to use. So this one is, it's a bit snarky. It goes along with the snarky. And it goes along with our saying. I'll read it to you once I stamp it out. So we're going to place this kind of in the middle, and it looks straight. And I'm going to go ahead and pick up the stamp. And then I'm going to put my alignment guide in here, and we're going to find out if it's really straight. Because this is usually when I go, wow, I thought it was straight, but it's not. What did I do with my ink pad? Here it is. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and ink up our stamp. Now I can tell just by the lid alone, because there's a grid on the lid, that it's not quite straight. So I'm just going to lift this up, and I'm just going to straighten out my stamp a little bit. Yep, that's much better. And now we're going to go and do our test stamp. So we're just going to go ahead and put ink on there. Bring this back up here. Make sure my card is in here straight. And it doesn't have to be a perfect stamp, but you're just going to push down on here and see how that looks. So because there's grid lines, you can see along the top of the stamp if it's lined up. And this one is. So we're good. I can go ahead and take that alignment guide out now. And now we're going to stamp directly onto our card. Okay, so again, I'm just going to close that lid, or sorry, open that lid and put my ink on. Now you've done all the work on this card. You really want to make sure that it's right, because otherwise you're going to be cutting an inside panel for this and restamping it, because I'm not ripping apart the front of the card. So that's why those alignment guides are so helpful. Okay, so there's a perfect greeting, all done, and I will read it to you. So the outside front of our card, oops, that doesn't say anything yet. It says, happy birthday, wow, you're old. And this one says, how do you expect me to remember your birthday when you never look any older? I guess that's kind of contradictory. Do I really want to use that? That doesn't really make sense, does it? Ugh. Okay, well, I got to change my inside greeting. New card base. I'm glad I didn't stick the front on. Yeah, that doesn't really work, does it? That's all right. I can use it for another card. Are you all laughing at me now? Please remind me of the sentiment inks. What? Kim, I don't know what you're saying. Please remind me of the sentiment ink. Oh, this one that I'm using here. This is VersaFine Clair Nocturne. We're having a heck of a time getting this in. It's out of stock everywhere, so it's on back order right now. It's a good one. Another one that I like is the VersaFine Onyx Black. I know, that doesn't work at all, does it? It's just stupid. That's okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do, see, good thing I prepped some things, because now I'm wasting time. And my chamois kind of dry. So I'm just going to quickly clean this off. Yeah, that didn't make any sense at all. I should have taken a little more time to read it. But we just won't be snarky on the inside. We'll be snarky on the outside, and we'll be nice on the inside. So another one that I really like is... okay, we're going to go with this one. Ugh. Okay, back to the drawing board, which happens. See, this is real lifetime crafting. This is what goes on in your craft rooms. If you think it doesn't go on in mine, it really does. Okay. I don't know that I love that one for this either. Just one second. Okay, here we go. This will be good. Here we go. This one's going to be good. I'm so indecisive. Okay, so there we go. See, you get to watch the alignment process again. I want to make sure it's straight after all this. Okay, well, it's looking good on the lid. My brushes are in the way. Okie doke. Does that look good on the lid? Yep. Okay, here we go. This is our test to make sure that it's kind of straight. It looks good. Okay, one more stamp. We're getting there, ladies. Sorry about that. I was rushing when I read it, and then I'm like, that doesn't even make any sense. I can't put that inside there. Okay. Lid down. There we go. Okay, so what I chose was, the front is going to say, happy birthday, wow, you're old. And then it's going to say, a birthday is the first day of another 365-day journey around the sun. Enjoy the trip. So that will work great. But see how the sentiment has like typed and then it has a bit of script? It's just so cool. So I don't even have to think about what to say. I just stamp this in there and it's great. So it's a really nice set. And I will show you the other one, the blooper, how it looked as well. So, how do you expect me to remember your birthday when you never look any older? And then it has, hope it was great. And it has that nice scripty sentiment on there too. So it's really fun. So now that we've got this stamped, I don't stop there. Why wouldn't you put the stamp on the alignment first? Well, because what's going to happen is when you pick up the door after you put the stamp on the alignment, it lifts the alignment guide with it. So I kind of put it on my, my card, lift it up, and then put the alignment guide in, do the test stamp, and then just remove the guide. You can do it either way. You're just going to have to peel off that guide because it's going to stick to your stamp for sure. Okay, so once I've done this and the ink is dry, you want to make sure the ink is dry because if it's not, then you're going to end up smearing your ink. But this is something that I love to do. So I am going to pull out one of the 1-inch brushes and I'm trying to decide what color to do this in. I could really pick any color in this rainbow blend that we just did because I want you guys to pick the color. So just pick a color, any color. Because any of those will work because the colors are great on the card. We don't have to pick, you know. I am thinking, I don't know. I'm going to wait to see what you guys say. Tell me the color you want me to use. It's from the blend that we did. So it could be the pink. So yellow was my first choice, Leanne. I'm going to go with yellow. The yellow was actually my first choice. It's right in the middle of the blend. Maybe that's why I picked it, but we'll see. Oh, we got another yellow. Good. You don't even know what I'm doing with it, but oh, Christina wanted teal. Well, teal would be great too. So we are going to, oh, I like that. Leanne says it's for the trip around the sun. Yellow is perfect. But any of the colors would work, ladies. So if you decide that you want to recreate this card, you could totally do any of the colors. But I'm going to go with the yellow. And that was the sweet mustard. And what we're going to do is we are going to do a little ink blend right over our sentiment. This is just a nice way to jazz up the inside of the card. Not too much work. Pretty easy to do. And it just gives a little impact when they open the door, which is kind of nice. So again, I'm going to use the 1-inch brush because this is going to give me that beautiful, perfect, smooth blend. And I'm going to start right in the middle of the sentiment and I'm going to start swirling out and then to the sides, just so that you cover the sentiment and not the whole inside of the card. You really want to focus your blend over top of that area. Yes, I love this. I did this on a couple of cards. I think I might have done it on the Christmas cards for the girls at Christmas time. And then I kind of forgot about it. And then I thought, hey, I haven't done that in a while. So again, you just do that beautiful blend right over top of that sentiment. And then that's it. I'm not going to do anything else. So the yellow is a perfect color. Now we're just going to put our front on. I'm going to clean up this yellow blob that I made because you know what's going to happen if I don't. I'm going to have yellow all over my card and that will be bad. Okay, so now we're just going to go ahead and get our panel and put it on. Now I'm going to use foam adhesive. This might be the end of the roll because I am so close. Oh, I didn't even cut that long enough, but I think I'm going to hit the roll. We might have to bring out another kind of adhesive and mix them together because I am pretty sure this is going to be done. Yep, there it is. The end. So that roll I started on January 17th, 2024. That was that big, huge roll. So now I can't use this. It's going to be on the cardboard. So now we're going to start the big Altenew roll. Okay, so this is my first time using the Altenew foam tape. It's amazing too. I can already tell just when you pull it off the roll. Oh, and look at that. It fits right in that little section right there. And then I just need a couple of little strips for the inside. So we showed all these different size strips. Wow, this stuff's sticky. It's good. And we almost sold out of our first round. Luckily, I'd already ordered a second round and it arrived. So Shelby was able to, I think, get that back into inventory. So they went quickly. People are loving these big rolls. Okay, what am I cleaning my glass mat with? That is alcohol. So make sure if you get alcohol that you get 70% or higher. And we sell these little spray bottles that you can pour your alcohol into, and these are worth it. Oh my gosh, amazing. I think we might be sold out right now. If we aren't, we're very low. And I just ordered more, so just watch for those. But these, it's amazing. You just spray it on your surface and just use a microfiber cloth to wipe it up, and it dries almost instantly. So it's very, very, very efficient. Don't use it on your stamps or anything like that. Just on, I like to work on glass, so it works great on glass. It's great for cleaning stencils as well. So it's a nice fast acting cleaning agent, and I love it. Okay, so there's our panel. Now I have to stand up and make sure I get this on here straight, which is tricky. So I got to just pull it off screen here for a second. That's going to be good. Perfect. Okay, so there's our panel and our greeting on the inside. Doesn't it look great? Now I'm just going to add the gems and we're done. So I'm going to get my gems and bring them over. This is the case that I keep most of my neutrals in. So the gems I used on my Hugs card are the Gina K clear quartz sequins. So I'm going to use the same ones on this because I know they work well with the color palette and the design. And I'm actually going to place them in a very similar manner because why reinvent the wheel, right? So look at me. I'm just going to put some glue on here right away. I might switch. No, I can't do it. I have to put them on here first. So we're just going to, I'm thinking I might do, let's try this. 2 here, just like it shows, and then 1 over here, kind of down there. I got 2 there. Perfect. And then another one kind of down here. So it's going to work great. So we're just going to go ahead and put the glue on there. Just like in the first card. Because it probably took me 15 minutes to figure out where to put those sequins the first time, so I don't need to do that again. Oh, we have 3 of the clear bottles left for the spray. And they are definitely worth it. We've sold out of them twice already. So I've already ordered more. Okay, that looks so good. All right, so that is the card inspiration for today. So again, I'll just kind of quickly run over the name of the supply. So the feature of the sentiment is the Happy Birthday Script word die, and that allows you to do this technique here. And then the little bear is called Germ Free Bear. And again, just as a recap, this little bear is just a bear on his own. It's whatever you add to it that makes it the theme that you want. Okay, so again, crash your stash or look through our online store at the different sets and see what little icons you can find that you think will work well in his little paws, because in this particular situation, we took the germ-free bear that is designed to be, you know, medical, and we turned him into a birthday bear. So it works really great to work for lots of different things. And then the sentiments I used, and I'm not really sure where we're at with inventory for this, but I will definitely make sure that I top this up. It's, again, a product that's been around for a while. As new things come in and we make room for those, we don't always order in the older sets, but then we start to revisit them and new people are like, hey, you know, I really need those. But these are the simple strips and mini strips. And if you want to see the variety that is available, you can go onto the Tailored Expressions website and just type in simple strips and mini strips, and you can see all of the different ones, because we're not going to bring them all in. It's a huge inventory, but if there's specific ones that you're after, just let us know and we will bring them in. We're ordering from Tailored every week. So definitely let us know if there's sets that you want, and we're happy to bring them in. So Shelby says we're sold out of both of those, but I'll bring the birthday ones in for sure. And they have like sympathy and wedding. Like there's some like sort of classics that are good for all popular occasions, but there are other ones that are a little bit more specific, and they're great. So if you're interested, just let us know and we'll bring them in for you. But that's it for today. Okay, so thanks so much for taking time out of your day to stop by and watch the live. And like I said, it'll live on Facebook for 30 days. But I am also going to transfer this over to our YouTube channel, and then you'll be able to watch it there forever, or until they change their mind. But we anticipate a very long time. Alrighty, that's it for today, and we will see you again soon.